Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to each of the witnesses for being here today on this very important topic. Mr. Walsh, let me start with you. The GAO report paints a grim picture of the FAA's sustainment plans for the air traffic system. More than 100 ATC systems, meaning radar, software, and hardware, were unsustainable or potentially unsustainable. With air travel expected to continue to grow, breakdowns and disruptions will only get worse. Mr. Walsh, your expertise is in procurement and modernization of legacy systems. How would you summarize the current state of air traffic control?
The easy summary is this is what happens if you take if it isn't broke, don't fix it, or perhaps if it's still somewhat working, don't fix it, just sustain it over many, many years. So we're seeing the ramifications of that. We need to invest more money and more funds to get us back on track.
How do you fix it? And I suspect the answer is not going to be just more money, because that answer has often failed to solve the problem.
You are correct. Throwing money at the problem won't fix it. You need adequate oversight. You need the right people in the right place. You need training. You need to have more of the good people that are keeping things running with Band-Aids and patches. So, as I said in my opening statement, this is not a quick fix. There is no silver bullet. This is going to be the work of years and billions of dollars and thousands of people.
All right, Mr. Scribner, in your testimony, you mentioned that former FAA employees responded to your analysis of the GAO report. One stakeholder wrote that the ongoing reliability of existing surveillance technology like radar and ADS-B is in jeopardy, and the replacement for these existing technologies likely won't be deployed for 15 years. Why do you think FAA employees reacted so powerfully to the GAO report in your analysis, and what does it say about the FAA's acquisition strategy that it takes 15 years to deploy a new surveillance system?
Well, thank you for those questions, Senator Cruz. On the first, I think the reaction that Reason Foundation received from FAA stakeholders on the GAO report, it wasn't really anything new. A lot of these types of complaints we have heard for many years. I think they saw the thorough and I think the excellent analysis in the GAO report as an opportunity for Congress, for FAA, for Department of Transportation leadership to really take another close look at some of these issues that, again, are not new. When it comes to the delays that they are specifically complaining about, again, those aren't new, and as documented by GAO quite thoroughly, this is quite common. I think especially stakeholders who have contractors who have worked abroad with air navigation service providers outside the country, and then they come back and work with ATO, can see the night and day situation when it comes to technology procurement and technology development. A lot of these, some of the larger ANSPs globally, are able to develop their own technology effectively in-house and then market it globally. That is something that the FAA used to specialize in developing technology in-house, but increasingly it's relying too much on outside contractors without adequate internal controls, and that is helping add to the delays and cost overruns for a variety of systems.
My understanding is that the FAA has concurred with the majority of the GAO's recommendations, ranging from better reporting requirements and budget baseline practices to more regular reviews from the Joint Resources Council. Are those recommendations, in your judgment, sufficient, or should Congress consider more creative solutions to ensure that the U.S. air traffic control system is the best in the world?
As I said in my opening statement and as I detail in my written testimony, I think the problems run much deeper. It is structural. It is institutional design that is ultimately the root cause here. There is a reason why the vast majority of countries of air navigation service providers globally have moved toward the public utility model, the self-supporting public utility model. to avoid some of the political problems that the FAA continues to experience. And we've seen a lot more success outside the U.S. in modernizing air traffic control technologies and practice than we have here. And again, I think it's institutional.
And finally, Mr. Capelli, in your judgment, what is the biggest challenge outside of funding facing the FAA's air traffic control system?
Thank you, Senator. I would say, you know, we have recently, I'll answer it this way, we recently met with the COO of the ATO, and we talked about these equipment. Right now, the way it's set up is, unfortunately, that there's a program office that goes out and looks for and acquires new technologies. Then they take that equipment idea and bring it over to the ATO and say, hey, we've acquired this. How do you want to use it? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us. We would rather, as the experts in running the air traffic control system, and the COO, Tim Morrell, has agreed, we should get together, talk about what do we need, look at all of the systems that are out there, prioritize what we need, prioritize what would make it better, go through that, and move forward together and saying, this is what the ATO needs, this is what air traffic control needs to maintain the safety of the NAS and improve and increase the efficiency of the NAS.
So what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Is there anything that prevents the FAA from doing that now?
There is not, and it is a goal that we're going to start doing in the coming weeks and months, certainly in 2025, to move, and this is not a NAC issue, it's an FAA issue, moving those pieces around to put the office that goes out and acquires technology under the ATO, for air traffic control, under the ATO, so that we're acquiring systems that make sense to air traffic control.
Very good, thank you.